Hello, this is the website of Teriatian Mysteries, and I'm afraid we're gonna unleash ourselves on a adventure here. This is about grinning deer. What exactly are grinning deer? Grinning deer are, they're strange creatures. Some people know what grinning deer are, and you might have listened to other videos like this. But I have to tell you, this is a different website, unfamiliar than the grinning deer. This is Teriatian Mysteries. Now, we will begin. In the ancient woods where shadows creep. So this is Epic of the Ancient Deer by Teriatian Believer. So evidently this guy really knows what he's talking about. He knows what these deer are, and he writes poems. He's a poet. So they could be dark, and they probably are dark because these creatures are evil. So let us begin. In ancient woods where shadows creep, there lurked a creature dark and deep. With antlers grand like branches wide, an evil deer none could abide. So it's talking about ancient woods, and then there's shadows. So the shadows is particularly talking about a deer. Not really. Of course, there are other shadows in the woods, but among them is the most ferocious beast of all, the Teriatian. So, its eyes gleamed red, a fiery glow. As twilight fell, it prowled below. With a wicked grin that chilled the air, it whispered secrets filled with despair. So, it's just telling about the description of the grinning deer, how it acts, what it does. So, you realize it's a wicked grin. What is this grin? So, you'll see in a little bit, it's wicked. It whispers. Whispered secrets. So, through moonlit glades, it danced with glee. This fiendish beast, a soul thief, a spree, it roamed the night in hunger fierce to claim the hearts that hope would pierce. The travelers bold who dared to roam would feel its pull far from home. With whispered lies, it lured them near an ancient curse, the evil deer. So, this deer, you'd feel its pull. How? This creature, it steals your soul. This may be a fictional poem, but it's a completely made up. It's not completely made up. It comes from the truth. But as you see here, there's some rhetoric, but also you see that when travelers are roaming the woods, certain travelers will feel the pull of the grinning deer, but you cannot succumb to this. If you do, this will be your fall. You will die. It is very important that you listen to the words of this. Do not go into the woods at night, all alone, without a certain device called the Cairo. So a Cairo is just, the Anglicized version is XIRO, but it's really just CHI-RHO. which is the two Greek letters of the Greek alphabet, and they resemble a Greek cross. So it would resemble, one is the rho is looks like the English P, and then the chi is X. So it resembles a cross. In every glen, in every brook, it casts a gaze with an insidious look. A flick of its tail, a haunting call, of phantom shadows began to fall. So it tells that this thing is everywhere. It will not fail, even in Antarctica. You are freezing in Antarctica. Your senses are down. But yet, this deer is there, and it will entrance you in its capitalizing. It's trying to capture you. It wants to eat you. Not literally eat you. The deer itself will eat you. It is a demon-possessed deer that wants your soul. The wise one spoke of tales long past, a wicked spirit, a die was cast, in legends whispered by the firelight, of a deer that thrived on endless night. So it says here that these deer thrive on endless night. What really means they dwell in the dark. That's where they are. They hide. They hide from you inside the dark. They'll capture you in the dark. So you don't go alone at night. You don't go outside city limits at night without a Cairo. It's very dangerous. Of course, what is the probability of a deer, this type of deer, coming to you? It's exceptionally rare, but it does happen. So if you take the example of a seatbelt in the car, it has proven to save lives, but yet it's not that much of a percentage. So it's a warning to keep in mind. Don't go outside the city limits when it's dark. Take a Cairo with you. Yet brave of the heart of young Alaric, a hero born, fierce and lyric. He sought the truth with sword in hand to end the reign of this cursed land. Now, I do not know who Alaric is, or Alaric, whatever it is pronounced, but this shows of what we should be. We should be brave when it comes to a deer. It's all this allegory of a sword in his hand. We don't have to have a sword. We have the Cairo to protect us from this grinning, foe-ish deer. Through tangled brambles he forged his way. With courage bright he would not sway. He entered the wood with darkness dwelled. He determined to fight as his spirit swelled. Okay? Upon a hill a deer stood proud beneath the shroud of a misty cloud. Its laughter echoed as a sharp knife. Come closer, brave one, and taste my life. So, grinning deer don't really speak. But really, what is happening here is that it seems to you, you are thinking that this person wants to talk to you. If they're looking at you, they're with some reaction exerting towards you. You think that. So if you explain that in a way as if they are talking to you, as if they want your attention, this is the same concept. Just like you see an apple. What is an apple doing there? You're communicating with the apple. You're saying, this apple is red. Alaric stood resolute and bold, his heart aflame, his spirit gold. I'll not be fooled by your wicked charm, for I seek to be free from the world, from harm. We all seek freedom for the grinning deer. Everyone does. Including the most perfect person on earth. Nobody can be perfect. Exactly. It's impossible to be perfect. But with a battle... Okay... With a battle cry he charged the beast, a clash of wheels, an unholy feast. The deer took flight, its hooves like thunder. As darkness surged, the souls tore asunder. Okay. The fight raged on beneath the stars as Alaric swung while fate bore scars. With every strike the deer did wail, for souls acclaimed now turned pale. So, if you have ever read the story of Dracula, like all those stories in Dracula, of vampires, it kind of reminds me of that. How they take wooden stakes and they plunge it into the flesh of a merciless demon-possessed person. In the fateful clash, the night grew cold as legends turned anew to behold. With a final blow, the moment drawn, a deer let out a sorrowful yawn. Its form began to twist and fade. The evil smile no longer stayed. The souls that stole returned to light as Alaric stood triumphant that night. Well, I'm not sure what the writer means by this. Actually, I'm pretty sure splitting in two things here. Either you stand, fight the deer, or you run. So, when you run from the deer, you win the fight because you don't want to face the deer. This is a dead deer, if you understand correctly. A dead deer. If you plunge a knife into this, it's not going to do anything. You can cut off its head, but yet again, it will be a grinning deer without a head coming after you. There's nothing you can do against a grinning deer. Nothing. Now peace reigned soft in the ancient wood, where darkness once held only fear and brood. A tale of bravery sung by the stars, a hero true who fought from afar. So, he had a true heart. He knew what he was doing. So when the moon in splendor glows, remember the tale how courage grows. For in the heart of each noble quest lies the strength to face what we detest. So this can be a lesson. It doesn't have to be about grinning deer. So if you have a challenge in life, you can face it, just how Alaric faced the grinning deer. But here in this commentary video, it's important to note that if we encounter a grinning deer, be like Alaric. Alaric defeated him. Defeated the deer. If you're not that physical, you just run away from the grinning deer. And if your legs fail you, you're dead meat, pal. I'm sorry to say. But, and like always fear the deer, they're always near. And like always fear the deer, they're always near. So, this was one commentary video. I hope you had a lot of interesting questions in your mind while you read this. I hope I didn't skip much. This was kind of a brief overview of this poem, but if you have any questions, just place in the comment section, and I'd be happy to answer the questions. This, but next video will be about the story of the Minnesota boy who witnessed a horrible act of a grinning deer. Pretty interesting. I just gotta say, well, goodbye. And I do hope, like I said, that this was interesting. Groots me. You know,